Hello, it's Not Bad Cat here on March 5th, 2022 with your weekly Rimworld mod updates and uploads. I've got 12 mods today, some tiny, some larger, but you might find one that fills a need for you. Let's dive in. Originally made by Vendon, LEGO Dude 17 has released Better Stockpile Designator 1.3. With this mod, you can configure what is allowed or disallowed in a stockpile zone before you've created it. Configure the stockpile, then zone it out. You can also save them as presets you can use for any of your colonies. Sometimes it's annoying to start up your power grid. Wind is unreliable, solar needs the sun, and you still have to research batteries. And tribal factions need to research electricity. If you want to jumpstart your colony with reliable power, AncientNuclearGenerator by BBBBilly gives you 1200 watts of power generation right away. It can't be moved or built, so either settle your colony around it or be ready to lay down lots of wiring to reach your base. It will explode when damaged, so protect it, because you won't find another. Last week, I shared with you ERIN'S Great Pyrenean Mountain Dogs. This week, it's ERIN'S Cat Overhaul by ERIN. You might guess that I like cats, and it always felt like cats were added only because if you have dogs, you might as well have cats. But they're not all that different from Yorkshire Terriers. Useless. And there was only ever cat. No variations. ERIN'S Cat Overhaul gives some love to my feline friends by adding more coat variations. But if you have vanilla expanded framework in your mod list, they can even bring you gifts. Yes, rat meat and bird leather, but also cloth and silver. More, but you'll have to discover that yourself. If you want to emulate pawns actually learning how to wield their weapon, or pawns becoming attached to their weapon, Weapon Mastery by SK might be for you. If a pawn uses the same weapon for a while, they'll naturally get better at using it. Eventually, they can gain bonuses from mastering the weapon and will give it a name. It's just short bows. It's the particular short bow they have in their hands. They can master it multiple times, getting more bonuses each time. The rate of experience gain and mastery are also customizable, so tune it to your liking. There's a lot more planned, so keep checking the mod to see new updates. Caravanning and interacting with the world is one of Rimworld's weak points, and it could really use some DLC or an overhaul update. Using your long-range scanner, you have the fun of caravanning to a site, hoping you have enough to carry it all back in one haul, and then looking for another one instead. With Meteor Attractor by Kimtaeco, you can search for meteors to crash into your colony. How long will it take before you destroy some valuable structure or kill a pawn? Who knows, but that's part of the fun. Lambdadelta created LD, Simply Synthread, and Hyperweave as a way for you to craft both previously uncraftable resources. Synthread isn't much better than cloth, but you'll need it to create the very useful Hyperweave. 50 cloth and 20 chem fuel make 25 synthread, and 50 synthread and 1 advanced component will yield 25 hyperweave. Because of that advanced component, it will compete for resources with a whole host of later game items, so it's still pretty expensive to make. Another small mod made by Lambdadelta is LD Please Sir, I'd like some more deities. If your ID legend structure allowed for multiple deities, you can now create up to 12. And that means you can create a full pantheon of gods to really flesh out the lore of your colony. If you're looking to add more resources for your stuffables and want new ones from beginning to end game, MAELSTROM'S Metals by Maelstrom is a great mod to have in your playthrough. It adds 10 new metal alloys to the game. No, it's not more stuff to mine out. These alloys I created from base game resources or from metals in this mod. These metals can be made into specialized weapons and armor, focusing on sharp or blunt damage and protection. Some are all about beauty and wealth, and some are for the desperate ice sheet players. These are all stuffable materials, so expect to see traders and other factions having items made of these resources. Dickmosi has created a very lightweight and simple mod named Stubbly Facial Hair that adds 18 new facial hairstyles for your pawns. Most are at vanilla resolution, but some may be higher resolution if the original art was also high resolution. It makes sense that not every pawn would be clean shaven, especially if you have them recruited for over a day because of a threat. Shenanigans created Denim, a mod that adds a fabric that is about twice as good as cloth. so the recipe of 20 cloth making 10 denim would make a lot of sense. Denim is fairly complicated to make in real life, and that is reflected in Rimworld with a high work amount. But cloth is easy to get, and you can get a lot of it quickly, so it's far more reliable than hunting wildlife to get something better. Helixien released ReGrowth Remastered Ancient Animals this week as an update to their original ReGrowth Extinct Animals. The mod now uses the vanilla expanded framework for its code, and it's more lightweight than its predecessor. The VE framework allows animals to have unique mechanics. Velociraptors are female only. The Thrinaxodon is nocturnal. If you haven't seen this mod before, it expands the original mod's 5 extinct creatures to 13. Some new animals are the woolly stegosaurus, velociraptor, terrorbird, megalinhydrus, Thrinaxodon, saber-toothed squirrel, Arctic lucius, and if you have vanilla fishing expanded, coelacanths. Some actually existed. Some are the result of Glitterworld genetic experiments, and one is real and isn't extinct at all. Coelacanths can be found in the East African and Indian Oceans. These extinct animals can be found in the wild in various biomes, but they are a rare spawn. VE Framework has settings to disable an animal you might not like. They have been rebalanced and incorporate the patches Kadon made to the original. Helixien has more updates for ReGrowth coming, so you should see them soon. Recon and Discovery Continued by Mlie was a mod I was interested in using in my playthroughs, but I was saddened to learn that it was just plain broken. Well, no longer. Gareth P. updated the mod and fixed many of the issues that prevented it from working. They were also kind enough to provide me with some videos to show off some of the events. You might be lucky to come across a Stargate, and who knows where it could lead. This time, you don't have to caravan to take the fight to your enemy. But beware, the enemy might take the fight to you, and you best be ready for whatever comes out. Other factions might invite you for a peace talk or to a trade fair. Sometimes it goes well. Other times, well, not so much. The enemy of your enemy is not always your friend. But these events can lead to some big rewards. One of them is the teleporter. Make travel between 2 colonies easier. But sometimes teleporters get hacked. During a raid, mechanoids might spawn for your teleporters, and they'll keep spawning until you complete the raid. And these are just a few of the events and rewards you can find in Recon and Discovery. That wraps up the mod updates and uploads for this week of March 5th, 2022. If you're interested in any of these mods, you can find links to them in my description. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. I'm Not Bad Cat, and I'll see you next week.